Pisces, it's Kay from Kay Loves Tarot. Right then, you guys, let's get stuck into your monthlies. Got the decks here. So these are Pisces energies for 18 regarding love. For Pisces, hello Julie, how are you? Pisces energies around love. Pisces, sun, moon and rising. Let's see what's cracking, you guys. So, look at the deck. Let's find out. So I'm doing 9 card spreads. Obviously, like the other readings, unlike the other readings, I've got the camera facing me. So I'm going to get the spread out and I'll show you the cards as the dealt. So let's get stuck in. Right, so we're looking at the recent past. 3 for recent, 3 cards for present, 3 cards for what's coming towards you. So recent past, death reversed, the 7 of Swords reversed. Interesting. The 8 of Pentacles reversed. Just looks like something sort of wasn't quite finished when it probably should have been. Or we've not got much effort going into actually sort of finalising things. So present, we've got the King of Cups. Interesting. The Ace of Wands. And 5 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, for those of you that are in the present, if you are being connected to another water sign, another Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, I'm actually seeing someone come back for a bit of nookie. I'm just going to say it. If you're Pisces and you're connected to another water sign, or you have been connected to another water sign, I've got some nookie coming back from the past. So I've got my Ace of Wands as the bone card, and it's at the centre of your reading. 5 of Pentacles reversed, as we all know. Someone who shut you out comes back. What's coming towards you? 2 of Swords reversed. I'm shuffling now. 3 of Pentacles reversed. I've got told to, so I am. 4 of Wands reversed. So yeah, this could go on some time. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not actually sort of seeing this being the worst thing in the world, because I do think at least either you or them, I feel like this could be mutual. Acknowledge that there are feelings there, but it's not something that, how can I put it? Someone's still a bit unstable to actually solidify anything. This just feels more like fun to me. But like I say, it's not the worst thing in the world from what I'm actually seeing. It's not, I don't think they're going to do another disappearing act. I just don't feel like this is something that can be, oh, right, okay, we'll fall back into it, you know what I mean? I just feel like this could just take a little bit more time than you expect, you know, or some of you guys are the ones that just aren't wanting to sort of solidify anything at the moment, maybe because of their past behaviour, you know what I mean? Maybe it's not wise to rush into it. Maybe it's actually more wise to sort of, yeah, okay, have some fun, but sort of take your time with it to make sure that they're not going to fuck it up again, or to be absolutely sure you're not going to fuck it up again, you know, go whichever way. So let's look at this a bit more in more depth then. So obviously I've got this recent past scenario here where something just couldn't get off the ground, and I'm seeing it just basically being a simple case of enough effort just wasn't applied. So you could have been seeing someone who probably might have been considered lazy, emotionally at least, or you. This is your energy. Don't get me wrong. This could go vice versa. I'm just going to look at it from the first sort of perspective that I've got right now. Okay, so it's just looks like you've been seeing someone rather lazy, but it was reluctant to end. Now the thing is, I'm looking at the death card. It's like a 2-tiered kind of message. So I think the first element of that card being reversed is more about reluctance to finish and finalise, despite someone's laziness. Also, we all know what the death card means in the upright, change and transformation. So I want to say, in the recent past, you may have noticed someone was reluctant to change to better themselves. And that could tie in with the 8 of Pentacles reverse, because it's all a sign of laziness, really. So this is just maybe an indication of who you've been dealing with. The 7 of Swords reversed. I just want to pull back to the 7 of Swords reversed. If you thought they weren't maybe putting in a lot of effort, maybe because they were interested in someone else, I can guarantee now, especially if you're dealing with if you're dealing with Scorpio Pisces, I can guarantee you now they were not, it's not that they were up to any good. It's more than likely that they had a busy lifestyle going on elsewhere and they were just quite lazy emotionally. That's kind of how I'm seeing this. So, you know, I take this as a sign to say, not only does the Seven of Swords means that which was lost come back, but it's also, for me, the way I read the Seven of Swords, slightly different. I was known about now to follow my intuition. I would say this is more about, you know, here we're suspicious, we're thinking someone's up to no good. Here, there's nothing that warrants that kind of thought. It's not that they're up to no good. It's more a simple case of they're just pure fucking bone idle emotionally, you know. But obviously, coming into the present Pisces, we've got this, you know, King of Cups character sat here. And for some of you, this could just be your energy, but I just kind of look at this and I feel like, no. If you guys have been dealing with the water signs, then I will take this in this. Someone is more than happy to sort of venture back, and there's a lot of fun attached to this person. You know, I think especially if we are looking at Scorpio, because don't forget the Death card's ruled by Scorpio anyway, and we always have to put attention to the major arcana in these spreads. You know, if it's a Scorpio, then I think, you know, you're in for a damn good fucking time. Let's be honest. The Scorpio's good. Well, anyway, other than that, other than me blowing smoke up my ass, Five of Pentacles reversed. Those that have shut you out seem to come crawling back. Or you've shut someone out and you're going back to them, whichever way you look at it. It's just an indication someone who's been shut out comes back, you know. Or someone who shut you out comes back. With the Ace of Wands, this is a definite resonant boner card. And it's at the centre of your spread, so there's a lot of emphasis on sex this month, you know, even if it's not been had up to press. I think it's safe to say we've definitely got quite a few Pisces who are like, oh, fucking horny at the minute. Most definitely. I think as well, I want to say something else. And it's just come to me. Considering I'm showing the King of Cups. And there is a lot of sexual reference I'm feeling from this spread. There really is. Mainly Scorpios, but most water signs tend to fall in love and experience love through sex. I think that's something that some of you need to bear in mind. It'd be hard. I just want to say for some of you, if you are seeing a Scorpio, you perceive them as lazy or aloof in some way, or maybe not affectionate enough. But I feel like some of you need to know, if it's a Scorpio you're dealing with, they show their love and affection through sex, and they don't tend to show it anywhere else. I think some of you need to understand that. I'm not sure who that specific message was for, but there you go. So what's coming towards you? We do have a bit of instability. We do have, you know, it's like a fucking weather forecast. 1 minute the sun's out and everything's nice and bright. The next fucking minute it's raining. You know, ooh, you know, just imagine a green screen with a big mappy love life behind me. This and this and this. Sorry, I'm just making a laugh and a joke. Oh dear. We're making a solid decision to stick it out, I think. I think that's what that is. You know, when the Two of Swords is in the upright, we may have a few different sort of options, a few different things that we're thinking about, but we're blindfolded to which way we should really go. Here, we're making a solid decision. And the Three of Pentacles reversed really is sort of the grey area. This is just lessons not being learned from the past. So maybe this is more about patience. You know, I know a lot of Pisceans can struggle with patience at the best of times. I kind of feel like this is just more about learning to be more decisive and learning to take your time. I feel like that's what's the lesson that needs to be addressed before we can get stability, because I'm not feeling this Four of Wands being an absolute definite instability for you. I'm just seeing it as a delay at this point until lessons are learned, until we learn to deal with certain situations a little bit better. I kind of feel like that's where your stability is going to come into play. So I really don't think it's wise at this point to rush anything. I really do think that you have a lot more to learn from this person than you think you do. And that might include, you know, how this person fall in love, how this person, you know, show their affection show their love. I think I just feel like there'd be a clash of personalities, but otherwise everything else is pretty good. You know what I mean? I feel like maybe it's just a clash of emotional personality, shall we say, that maybe stunted this in the first place, but it could totally be come back to. Conversely, do love spells really work? I really wouldn't want to even try. I think things like that, I see it as dark magic, and I feel like it don't only, it's not that it can only affect the person that you're dealing with, but it can also sort of affect you, as in, if it don't work, you're going to get your hopes up over something, so silly, you know what I mean? I don't know, I feel a lot of darkness from any kind of magic, and I just don't dabble with it. I think what you don't fully understand, you shouldn't mess with. And they know what they say, when you cast a spell, it comes back on you threefold. I just think, be careful what you wish for. That's what I think. Anyway, let me throw some romance angels before I love you and leave you, Pisces, and let's just sort of see what other information comes out. Let's have a look. Pisces, Sun, Moon and Rising Pisces 14. I will clarify these as well. So we've got calling in a soulmate. Oh, two fell out there. Release your ex and free yourself. Let's take a look. Let's see what this is all about. Just going to clarify this and then I'll hold them up to the camera. Let's see. Again, I'm sort of feeling a bit of impatience coming through these kind of through this spread. I'm definitely pulling out a lot of impatience. Right. So, Pisces. Over this calling in a soulmate, I've got some awkward looking cards. They're not awkward for you, they're awkward for me. And Spirit's being a bit cryptical with me at the minute. So I've got the Four of Swords, the Three of Wands reversed, and the Seven of Wands. So I've got no doubt that, the calling in soulmate card, your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations will help bring you together. And I feel like this is more about seeing if you can visualize a future with that person and if it's realistic. I feel like this is more about being realistic. And I've got here the Three of Wands reverse. And I'm starting to wonder if next to that Seven of Wands, at a time when we probably were going to maybe stop waiting, Spirit's probably coming in to say, don't give up just yet. There may still be something to be seen from this situation with that specific person. And then the Four of Swords, this just feels like there's just maybe a few more issues to weed out so that something can get off the ground. This just feels like a delay. And, at a time when maybe you are wondering if you should give up, Spirit's sort of coming in to say, just stand your ground, okay? We understand. But it's more about standing your ground with what you feel is right. And I feel like at the moment that is, yes, just, be more realistic, but at the same time, maybe wade it out and sort of get an absolute definite decision, you know what I mean? And we did see that kind of energy in the near future in the 9 card spread, so it makes perfect sense, really. Hello, Brandy. And I've got free self here with the Magician reversed in the Tower. And again, I'm sort of like, if you stuck in a cat too, really. If you stick it out, okay, we could still end up with the Tower energy anyway. But then if we're free of self, because it's not materialising, we could still end up with the Tower energy. And I kind of feel like it's the Tower that needs the addressing at the moment. That's how I feel. A relationship built on a rocky foundation that needs to be torn right back. So I do feel a bit of positivity from the Tower. Despite how difficult it looks initially, I do feel a little bit more positivity coming from the Tower. I'm just going to say it. I just feel like if the slate was wiped clean and you freed yourself maybe from the impatience of needing a commitment, so, straight away without clearing issues first, I just feel like this could be a missed opportunity in some way. And then I've got release your ex. I feel like this is maybe what some of you are trying to do, or maybe the decision that some of you, maybe before coming to this reading, you're going to take. Yeah, okay, we're done. I don't know. I like the Hermit here because, you know, with the star and the lantern of the Hermit, the star and the tarot is all about hope and optimism. And I kind of just feel it's also about your goals and your desires and how to achieve that. That's what the Hermit is, really. It's about going within, taking a step back, but not quite detaching, just to sort of maybe figure out how you can go about getting what you want from that person. I think the release your ex is more about release them for now, but not completely. Keep some level of connection there. Because obviously we've got Judgment here and the Eight of Pentacles, and this is sort of, I feel like this is putting effort into a reconnection, rejuvenation. That's really what the Judgment is all about. It's about revival and rejuvenation. And it makes perfect sense. That's why I sort of went with the Tower, because I'm looking at Judgment thinking, okay, we've got to pull attention to Major Arcana, you know, and I'm sort of looking at this thinking, with these two being right next to each other, you know, something was genuinely built on a false foundation in the beginning, but it can totally be revived by wiping the slate clean, by knowing where we've gone wrong and rebuilding on a more solid foundation. I just feel like the Tower's just highlighting the problem, really. So, you know, how are you guys? I would take the advice of the Hermit. I really would. To just take a quiet step back and reevaluate this person and whether or not realistically the slate can be wiped clean. And that way, even if you just agree to attempt to wipe the slate clean, even if then it still doesn't quite go the way you want it to, I suppose in a way Spirit's just wanting you to try and also to learn the lesson of, you know, forgiveness, not jumping the gun, and practicing patience. I kind of feel like those lessons are going to be learned through this person anyway. So even though it might not seem like it, Spirit is saying this could be a win-win situation. It's just worth noting, most definitely. Right, I'm going to leave that there. I just want to point out while I'm live, just in case I've got anybody else just watching tonight, this isn't for anybody who watches this at a later date. I did have an offer on last week and I've had so many emails, and the offer ended yesterday. What I'm going to do is I'm going to extend the offer until tomorrow evening to get anybody else in, because obviously I had emails and I did have to let a few people down, but I will extend it to tomorrow. So the offer was money off the 30-minute readings for just £15. So I will keep it going for another 4 hours. If anybody wants to grab one, they are pre-recorded only and they can be purchased up until tomorrow night, and then obviously you'll receive it within 4 hours anyway. So if you want one of those, pop me an email. They're only £15 reduced from 5, and I've got some time tonight and tomorrow day to get them done. So should anybody want one, email me. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow night for Monday Fun Day. And Clive's going to be joining us as well. So feel free to join us then. As usual, I'm going to be doing another tarot quiz for your freebies. So, woo! Right then, my lovelies. I will see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.